Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is June 25th, 2025. In this video, I'm actually bringing you a dream that my dad had on September 9th, 2023. I call it the nuke dream, and I brought it before on the channel, maybe twice. I really don't remember, but I'm going to bring it. I'm going to read it again today because everywhere we're looking, everything we're hearing, and maybe it's just my algorithm, I'll get that. I'll give you that. But there is the word nuclear, nukes, all kinds of things that like that, World War III, that just keep coming forward and forward and forward in the news cycle. And so here we are. I'm just going to read this to you again. So anyway, I'm going to read that to you. Now, I did go all the way to Denver, came all the way home, and we made the trip beautifully without any kind of hitch or everything went smoothly, except war broke out while I was there. Well, I mean, I was just like, I cannot believe it. Here I am, and Steve Ram in his news thing, and I kind of tune in and out of his channel, but he was like, here are the cities that have the sleeper cell targets. And I was like, dang it, I'm in one of these cities right now. What are the odds? Like, that sucks. So anyway, we were ready to be home, and so I got my feet back under me. Today, y'all, what I'm doing, like, in our family, I don't think you can sustain a sense of constantly prepping in a lather, getting ready for when the it happens. This is it. I mean, you can, I can't. I burn out real easy. I get real tired of that, living that way. I've done it. I don't like it. But what I am doing is just a little bit every day. A little bit every day of just kind of tidying up, especially when I was gone. I mean, when I left, I told the kids, hey, make sure you do this, and here's this, and here's that. And they understood. And so that was fine. But today, I mean, it was really good to get in there and deep clean some things. I needed to get some things thrown away so that it's tidy in case something happens. In case anything happens, having a clean area helps not clutter your mind. So that's how I work. But I hate cleaning. Y'all give me, I was like, hey, I'm the entertainment. I am not the cleaner. All right. I don't. So anyway, but I did get that done. Now then, this is an interesting conversation my daughter had at work day before yesterday. She came home and she said, Mom, I'm going to change this name so y'all don't know. I'm changing the people except for Taylor. So we'll just say, let's call her Judy. All right. So this Judy person that my daughter, who's an RN, home health care hospice nurse, works with, Judy said to Taylor, hey, this whole Middle East thing that's popping off, she said, that's what you and your family have been prepping for. Is that right? That's what y'all have been preparing for. Is this what's happening now? And Taylor was like, why do you want to know? You know how stealth we are. We like to think we are. But anyway, we like to stay under the radar as preppers. But I mean, this is a friend. So like Taylor was like, yeah, yes. You never know what's going to happen. And this party ain't over yet. I mean, I cannot believe. Well, let me go back to Judy. So anyway, Judy has already prepared a little bit. She was like, I have questions about water. How do I store water? Taylor gave her some tips about how we do it. And, what was interesting is that Judy's actually like, she's not in the prepper world, but she definitely connected some dots over the weekend and then connected them to us, which is fine. If I can help Judy, I'll help her. All right. Now, I'm not one to throw my door open and help everybody that comes in. I don't know, y'all. When push comes to shove, I don't know how that's going to go down, sharing with other people. The Lord will take care of that and iron all of that out. But the point is, maybe people are starting to wake up a little bit. The thing is, this situation that we're in is like labor pains. It's going to escalate and then de-escalate. It's going to escalate and then, so we're going to have these ups and downs with this crisis, all right? Which reminds me of a roller coaster. Remember the roller coaster dream Taylor had? So I believe that the Lord has already shown us many, many things that's going to happen. And in fact, I've been sensing from the Lord, go back and read the dreams. Those are what's happening now. So I even yesterday listened to Zach Mason's channel. He did a really great job putting together several videos of like the red horseman, the white horseman, I can't remember all of them, the pale horseman or the pale horse. Anyway, dream compilation videos. So they are really good. I believe they're like 3 years old, y'all. Maybe 3 years ago. So listen, if you go back and like I started listening, I was cleaning the kitchen, like really, because even if you're gone for 2 days or 3 days, the house just absolutely unravels. So I was like cleaning the kitchen. It's going to be a big job, and I was listening to one of his dream compilations. And I would say, I don't know that Zach listens to my channel. Pretty sure he doesn't. But if he did, man, I'd say, hey, dude. In fact, I may just comment on one of his videos or something and say, hey, do that again. Make another compilation. I don't want you to use my dreams or our dreams. I mean, you can if you want. But there's a lot of other people out there that are like, I had this dream and I just have to get it out. All right. And I know many of you are that way too. So, I went and listened to those. I would encourage you to do the same. And you can see the parallels of what's happening, what's unfolding now. It is striking. It is really striking. Okay. Then we're going to, also in this video, we're going to read out of John 15. Okay. Just go to that. Let me read this to you. This dream is from September 9th, 2023. It is my dad who lives next door to me. He dreams, I believe they're prophetic dreams. You need to square this with the Holy Spirit as you can. I may, for those of you who don't like this, usually I just read the dreams all the way through and don't interpret till the end. In this one, I may stop from time to time and interpret what that might mean. I may not. If you have interpretations, many of you have already heard this dream and you have offered your interpretations, which were phenomenal. Y'all, it takes a village. You know, we're all believers in Jesus Christ, or many of us are. If you're not, now is the time. The Lord is coming back to take us home to heaven. I don't know when that will be. Many people think, oh, we're close. I don't even care about close. I don't care about the timeline. I don't care. I watch and see things and I decipher things, but the Lord's going to decide that when he wants to. Just live a life where you're ready all the time. That's my belief. You do what you need to do. I'm staying in my lane, and I don't, I'm not saying everybody has to do it my way, but what I am saying is, hey, I don't need to put a timeline on it. When the Lord comes, the Lord comes. I'm ready. I'm ready. So, but my point is, this is a nuclear dream, and what we're hearing so much in the news cycle, like I said, are so much nuclear. So here we go. Let me just read this. September 9th, 2023. This is from my dad's point of view. I was on the couch in the living room watching TV. A lady came in and sat with me and watched too. An older woman came in and sat down to watch too. So he was like in the middle. And she asked, do we have any snacks to eat while watching? Yes, I said. And I went and got some shredded wheat cereal type snack from the other room. But the other woman, she was the one in the middle. The other woman in the middle said, no, you can't use those. We have to keep those, she said. So I went and got another bag, like corn chips. And the lady in the middle said, no, we have to keep those. I sat down to watch TV. And there was a disturbance, like a sound, enough to make us go outside. A loud noise. And in the distance, there was a column of an explosion getting taller and taller and taller, and then it turned into a mushroom cloud. And I said, that's an atomic explosion. We were standing near an overpass. So suddenly the dream shifted, and they were standing near an overpass, and we knew we were going to feel the shock wave. And sure enough, rings of the shock wave, we could see them coming. So I got behind the concrete under the overpass, like a concrete column, I believe it was. And there was a woman with 2 kids there. And we were all baffled. It felt like, what are we going to do? It felt very uncertain. At that time, there was another kaboom, and another mushroom cloud. I said, we have to get distance between us and the shock wave. I took the kids and began running across the field. I realized there was no place to hide. Hang on. But we had to get far away, and there was no place, nothing. And then suddenly there was a building, or like a house, being worked on. It wasn't finished yet. And the woman, like a farmhouse being worked on, and a woman sat by the wall they went into the house, and the woman he was with sat by the wall with the window, and I told her, no, that window will shatter, come over here by my wall. And the shock wave, he could see out the window, and he could see that there were military Air Force planes flying over. So while he sat in that house against the opposite wall, he could see military planes outside. The shock wave passed, and it wasn't that bad. Then a man, and he said, I knew him. My dad knew him. A man, I knew him, was looking in the window, and I told him to come in, and he said, this is not a good place to stay, but will do for now. And he said he was repairing it. And the water is fine here, is what the man said. So we went outside, and that's when I looked and saw 2 mushroom clouds. Then the dream changed, it shifted, and I was like a point of view above the mushroom clouds, and I could see them coming up at me. And then I saw the shock waves going out, and I asked how many were killed, and I heard a voice that said 400. And the columns struck him. They looked like an 11. They looked like an 11. Okay, so here are my takeaways from this, and there are so many, but one is there's so much. The idea of saving food and being prepared that we're going to need some things later. The idea of an attack, a military attack. They were by the overpass, so there seemed to be some kind of protection, like being passed over, or an overpass. My dad seemed to be the protector in this dream, like a sense of protecting others. I don't know if that's earthly protection or if he represented a godly protection. Regardless, there was a place of shelter to go. And I think what's really interesting is that this was on September 9th, and the columns looked like an 11. So 9/11, that kind of struck me. I think that when in a dream, when you suddenly have a from the top looking down kind of situation, that seems to have a divine element to it, a godly element, like from the point of view of God being over this. And I do not know what the 400 means. My dad did some research, 400 being a code number, meaning something. I can't remember what it was. If you have any ideas about 400, I don't think that's the literal number. I think it must represent something. Could be 4 being the world 100 times. This is going, if this is literal to a degree, if there's going to be something like this, it's going to affect the whole world 100 times over. So 4 times 100. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. So tell me what you think on that dream. I find it interesting. Once again, 2 years ago he dreamt this. We weren't in this type of news cycle at all back then. But when you read this today, you're like, man, man, I can kind of see that happening. Now, even though in the midst of all of this happening and all of the ideas as preppers that we have and as believers in Jesus Christ, that it's wise to live with your oil in your lamp ready for whatever, without fear, but with just assurance that God's got this. We went to worship Jesus in Colorado, in Denver, on Sunday with our family, and the minister brought this verse to mind, and I thought was going to share it with you. And the one couple of points that he made. First of all, John 15 verse 5. Jesus is talking to his disciples. I mean, he's fixing to be killed, and this within hours of him saying this. And Jesus says, "Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile and burned. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father." And I believe this is not like a genie, like you ask God for anything. That's not even the point I'm making here. But if it glorifies God and you're asking with a heart that he sees, just ask God for anything and everything, anything and everything, everybody, because God will know how to filter it and make it work. Okay, I got to take this phone call. Hang on. Okay, I'm sorry, we're going to have to edit this video, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so the point I want to make about the vine and the branches is that if you are part of Jesus, no matter what happens, if you are a branch of his, then everything is going to be okay. Remember, he is the one running the show, not us. And if you can live your life where you actually, live, for apart from me, you can do nothing, where you're so connected to the branch. If you're so connected to the main branch, the main vine, then everything is possible. With God, everything is possible. And so we need to remember and not get anxious or worried about everything we're seeing in the news. There are a lot of lies just flying around. Our president's dropping the F-bomb, you while you're dropping bombs, you might as well drop the F one. So, I'm just like, those things don't offend me. I don't care how he talks. It doesn't, to me, those things are piddly diddling things. Okay, if you've got to say a word like that and you're a Christian, whatever, you got to square that with God. I don't need to be I can't believe anybody would say something that horrible. Well, I can, because we're people and we're humans. Okay, so anyway, I don't care that he did that, but it was just like, oh, okay, is that where we're at now? Sure. Okay, but I do believe there are a lot of lies going around, and it takes a lot of discernment, and it takes being so connected to Christ that we realize I can relax in my thinking and that's called peace. I can dwell in the peace of God because he's running the show. He's running the show. I'm not. So I do what I can do in my circle of the world, in my corner, in my compound, whatever you want to call it. And then, I just follow his lead. and try not to chew on the thought process that's going on, and try to figure it all out. There ain't anything. I can't figure this thing out, but I will tell you this: I do not believe these peace talks and ceasefire and all that. I think that's a bunch of BS. I think it's a not that it's not real, but I just think it's just a matter of time. In fact, I saw on Duramax News that Trump just said the war between Israel and Iran can get back going at any moment. Russia, on the other hand, is also making advances and making plans, and there's intelligence coming out that they're going to make a land grab. And y'all, this is serious times. These are serious times. What are you connected to? Who are you part of? Those are the questions that matter the most. So that's what you need to hang on to. And all the other stuff will just filter through that. But who are you holding on to? Is it Jesus? Is it God? God the Father, Son, Spirit. Are you holding on to them? In the comment section below, write anything that would encourage us. Write what you think that dream might have meant, the elements of it. Write, y'all, that is your voice. That is how you share the gospel, is in that comment section. So encourage each other through it. Pray for each other through it. Write your prayer request. We'll pray. All right, I'm going to leave that with y'all. Sorry about the edited video. It is what it is. And so I'm going to go start my supper. It's fried chicken tonight. I know. Don't shame me. We need some fried chicken, all right? We have been to the city and back, and we just need our good country cooking right now. So anyway, stay safe, America, from the pantry. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.